My 15-euro coat rack is slowly giving up. So instead of buying another cheap coat rack, I decided to make one myself for €0. I wanted something that would fit the space a little better, and I had this idea for a natural live edge coat rack made from a branch with a nice curved shape. So I sketched out what I had in mind. And then, completely by incident, I spotted the branch in the distance that looked pretty much perfect. There's just one small problem, it is on the other side of the creek. So I put in my waders and went to get it. And because carrying one giant branch 3 kilometers through the woods would have been way too easy, I decided to bring a second one home as a backup. You know, just in case. Once I got everything back to the workshop, I had to figure out how to turn this branch into an actual piece of wood I could work with. I marked a straight line using a laser and ran it through the bandsaw. The cut was not exactly straight, so I marked all the spots where I needed to remove a little more material and used the router to take them down. After a little sanding, I finally had one nice flat surface to work with. Now I needed to make the other side parallel to it, and for that I used this very professional piece of woodworking equipment. And just like that, I had a board. Now I needed some hooks. I went to the hardware store looking for something that would match the shape I had in mind, but of course I couldn't find anything, so I decided to make those too. Luckily, I still had my second branch, the backup plan, so I turned that into a board as well and ran it through the router table. And because I happen to have a CNC machine in this workshop, I could just let it do the boring part. I put the board on the CNC and it cut 7 identical hooks. This was probably the easiest part. All I had to do was sanding the edges down. Now I come to the part I have seen about 100 of times on YouTube, but I had never actually tried it myself. I marked the holes, drilled into the boards, and the rest had to be done by hand, with a chisel, which sounds really simple when you watch someone else do it. It was slightly less simple when I tried it myself. Some of them turned out okay-ish, and some of them are definitely handmade. I think I have to accept it as it is. To actually hold the hooks in place, I mix up some resin and put the hooks in place. The next day I drilled 2 holes in the back for some keyhole hangers, and it was time for the finish. I use a self-made beeswax and oil mixture and rub it into the wood. This is definitely my favorite part. All those little details in wood suddenly become visible. It is finally time to put it on the wall. Honestly, I think it turned out pretty good. It cost me nothing, it fits in the space perfectly, and it will probably hold longer than the 15-euro coat rack from before. I guess sometimes the best way to replace something cheap is to make something yourself.